Welcome everyone to the Content Profit Show, one of the holiday editions. This is episode 24. When you want to look this up, whether you're here live or on replay, go to the contentprofitshow.com/E24 We're broadcasting today from an increasingly frigid North Georgia. Tomorrow morning, they're talking about 8 degrees, which I know some of you out there in the country are like, that's a cakewalk, but not down here, not down here. All right, coming up, we have 3 shows next week, okay? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have episodes 25, 26, and 27, and a great crew lined up for that. Today, we have someone I find very interesting. Her name is Robin Coles, and here she is. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Jeff.
And she is a woman of many things that she does. The thing we're going to talk about today, the articles that she sent me, I simply love because she is a she is a woman doing fantastic in essentially a men's industry, right?
That's right.
You're in the middle of the good old boy network. I love it. I love it. So how'd you get into boating?
You know, when I was younger, my aunt used to take me to the beach all the time, and she never let me go in the water, but I would always see the different sailboats and different boats out there. Right. And I always said to her, one of these days I'm going to go on one of those. And finally, all kinds of crap happened in life. And finally, I decided that's it. I needed to take the bulls by the horns, and I need to just go do it. So yep. For my 50th birthday, I actually got involved in boating and took sailing lessons.
At 50.
At 50.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yep.
Good for you.
And I've been doing it ever since. So now since then I've been, and I also had gone to a show that the National Geographics, and I met this woman, and she asked if I was interested in traveling around the Northeast to the different marinas, and I did that the following year.
How long did you have to think about that, right?
Yeah. And I spent 3 months on the road. I went to over 284 different marinas, and I reviewed them, interviewed them, and photographed them. And then my world started falling apart again, and I decided I needed to do something different. So that's where I went and learned about internet marketing and started this whole, I needed a project, and the marina project, the boating, became my project.
So. I love it. I absolutely love it. And folks, let me show you something that I just think is really cool. And we'll drop off here, Robin, so they can see it. Every one of these 11 articles I told you all about in the promo starts with suddenly in command. And I love that phrase because it just conveys so much. What's up with suddenly? And I'm in charge. What do I do now? Okay. And we talked before the show. That's the title of your next book. And then a whole series of things we can do. Practicing man overboard. I love it. Spare parts and tools. Check emergency equipment. Preparation is key. Know your crew. Keep them safe. Murphy's Law. That applies to boating too. Engines. Fun boating experience. Man overboard. First aid. I love it. And then there's more, right?
There's more, right? Just a couple more.
Okay. Suddenly in command.
And that's the first one in the series. But okay. the Know Your Crew.
Right.
There's actually a whole story to that. And at some point that's going to be a children's book as well. Just that story behind that one.
Thank you for bringing that up, Robin, because this is so right for stories. And I would imagine you have a couple. From these adventures. So yeah, stories of the sea. I love it. Now, we've talked about some things you want to do with this. One, when you put this together as a book, it's your second book, right?
Right. And
the first one is called?
Boating Secrets, 127 Top Tips to Help You Buy and Enjoy Your Boat. Volume 1.
I love it. Where'd you come up with 127?
I interviewed 11 marine industry experts, and then I took 10 out of each one of those. And at least 10, and then there was more, and I put my own chapter in there as well at the end.
Oh, I love that so much. I love that so much. All right, so let's go over here to our little rough draft working diagram. You've got some things on Medium. We'll get these articles on there too. Did you know you can put videos on Medium too?
Inside the stories?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, but I also found out that you have to have them up on YouTube, otherwise they don't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And you've already got a book. I'd bypass the ebooks and just go straight to books or manuals. And then you've got lots of choices here. Every single one of these could be its own masterclass or mini course. Man overboard, emergent preparation. I mean, come on. And you do something very interesting with your articles here on your blog. You start with a quote from somebody, and I love that. Hitting it with the social proof from the beginning. And then, let's see. Now, you had mentioned a membership a while back that didn't go anywhere.
Right.
Okay. What do you think was in the way?
I just think that the audience wasn't ready for it yet.
That could be it exactly, because see, this reminds me, I talked about this a few episodes ago. There's a website out there called askthebuilder.com. And this guy's a builder, house builder. And all he's done is taken that niche and topic sliced it and topic sliced it and topic sliced it. I mean, the last time I checked, he had like 12 or 13 or 14 videos on roofs, you know? Boating is like that. You could take a topic and, you know, preparation, dealing with people overboard. You know, so many topics you could slice into multiple articles and then gather back up to be products. And you know what would be interesting? How many of the folks that read your book and the folks you're reaching now, what percentage are men and what percentage are women?
I would say probably 80 or 90% are men.
Okay. Okay, so 10 to 20, 80 to 90. All right. So you know, we definitely gotta work towards both. But one question you could ask men and women is what would you need to get out of an online resource that would make it worth $27 a month to you? Or even $7 or $15 or whatever. I know a woman who's making bank with a $9 membership. She's got like 2,000 something people, and her goal is 100,000. She'll probably get there. So we can play around with price, and then all of taking this book. I mean, how many chapters in the book?
In the book I have right now?
The one you're working on,
the Suddenly in Command?
Yeah.
There'd be 11 or 12
11
chapters.
or 12? Okay. That's fine. That's plenty to make it a nice sized book. And so that's 11 or 12 master classes, 11 or 12 mini courses, 11 or 12 courses. Now, if you do a course, really what you've got with 11 chapters, there's 3 ways we can do this. And I don't recommend the first one. And that's, you know, making each of those articles or chapters a module, okay? Because that's a long course. Most people aren't going to stick with it. And so we can look at it and either see if we can combine topics, you know, into a module, or we can split it in 2. You know, like you mentioned earlier, volume 1 or step 1, volume 2 or step 2. And the cool thing about and this is where I would start, because the cool thing about the courses, as you do each module is a mini course. And there's a master class that's, shorter, for, to be part of the drive people this way. What do you think I'm just curious about this, asking that question, what would it take, to be in a membership and love it and just can't wait to get there? What do you think the difference in answers between men and women would be?
It's funny you should ask me that, because at one of the boat shows when I was selling my first book and then doing the book signings, I would talk to a lot of different men and women, and I found the answers were sort of the same. So at one show in particular, well, actually I did it at a couple of shows, one in the North and one in the South. And I put a flip chart up, and on the flip chart, I said, ladies, if you could change just one thing about your man while you're boating, what would that be?
I love it.
And women came around. Some of them were fine with writing their answers down. And some of them told me they were afraid to put their answer because their significant other, husband, whoever, would recognize the handwriting and they'd get into this big fight. And I'm like, okay, well, just tell me and I'll go write it.
Understood.
So I did that. And then every night before the show closed, the guys would literally come running over to see what was on that page.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty funny. And then they started complaining, well, where's mine? So when they came in the second day, I had a second page up there for men. And it was the same, just worded totally different. And the same thing with when I did it again at the Miami Boat Show. I did the same thing, got the same reactions, how come we don't have our own man's page and all that. And the answers were the same, but just worded a little bit different from the North's thinking, the South's thinking, men's thinking, and women's thinking. And I actually wrote a whole article about it and had it published in some paper.
Is it in Medium yet?
No, it's
we'll get it.
I have a boating website as well.
Okay.
So it's up there, but yes, I will put it on Medium. It's very interesting.
Now I'm getting excited here. I already was, Robin, but now I really am, because what I picture that, you've seen, when Jay Leno was the host, jaywalking, and now, they do it on different news programs and go out and talk with people, and the most recent one I saw was, can you find the United States on a world map?
I love that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so scary. But you're doing essentially the same thing, being the woman in the street, and talking to these people. And that's magic. What you've got there is the men want to know what's on that sheet. It's like, it's like boating meets the newlywed game, and those interviews, and having somebody, videoing it for you. Those are gold. Okay. Those are gold on social media. Those are gold in a website. And talk about a fun way to drive traffic.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know more about the difference in men and women in boating, visit Suddenly in Charge with Robin Coles. I love it. What's the craziest answer you ever got from a woman or man about what they would want to change?
I don't know if it was crazy, but it was spend more time with the family, and when we dock somewhere, get off the boat with us.
What a concept.
Yeah.
What a concept.
Exactly.
Goodness.
I even did a seminar at the Miami show, and only women showed up at it for the same
Really?
thing. Yeah.
See, that's another niche for you too. Do you know Jim Palmer?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. So you know what he just got done doing for a few years,
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is awesome. And so, and he's not the only one. And there's probably, I could connect you guys and maybe meet a few people that could help us with this. All right, I'm excited. We gotta let's play with the name for these interviews. The Suddenly in Charge show, Suddenly in Charge interviews, Suddenly in Charge. The acronym is SICK, so they could be
Right. So it's suddenly in command, and that's a terminology that the
Yeah.
boating industry
Okay.
uses.
Thank
At
you for
least
correcting me.
recreational side does. I don't think the workboat does, but
Suddenly in command. I love it. Suddenly in command goes to the dock, goes to the boat show, you know, and you do your interviews. Yeah, and you know, it'd be a lot like jaywalking, because I would imagine you'd find some people that don't know, you know, the difference between port and starboard, but they're
right.
doing their boat, right? Um, I love it. You're gonna have fun with this. Okay, so um, first step. Well, one, not necessarily first step, but getting that book together, um, which is really at this point compiling things, right?
Right. And I need, so compiling and looking for some key people to actually interview
Right.
so that I can put it in the book. And then once I have that done, I don't want to say which one it is yet, but one of the
Sure.
huge boat shows here has already said that if I get my book done by the spring, then they'll bring me in to do some talking.
That's some pretty decent motivation, Rob.
Yes, it is.
And then while you're doing that, taking each chapter, make it, you know, building the big course or the two big courses, and then as you do a module, you know, there's a mini course, there's a master class, and all of these roads lead to the biggest course and or the membership. A lot of the membership's going to be positioning and talking with people about what they want, because, and we can do some research into our, you know, how many boating memberships are there, and I can do some research over on Medium for you, but there, I don't know what it is yet, other than the title Suddenly in Command, but there's got to be a way to position this where it's the place people want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bending over because my laptop is saying it's low on charge. So it's very tacky to run out of juice while we're talking. All right. So there's much we can do with this. Any questions?
So can you give me an example of the mini course?
Sure. A mini course is like, I think of it as 3 to 5 modules. It's easiest to do 3. And, you know, 27 to 47, that kind of thing, where let's say that dealing with the person overboard, there's 3 steps to it, and you would teach those 3 steps. The difference between a mini course and a master class is that a master class is just a one-time event, 2 to 3 hours on a particular topic, and they walk away with a particular skill. Okay, so you could take something about anchors and go to town with that. Many courses are bigger and longer, and they come from the courses, and so this looks like a lot. The beauty of it is the same 11 or 12 things you have in the book is what you're going to teach here. Okay, and if you did a membership where you you know did strategy once a month and then a Q&A once a month, that you got a year right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which you know what I just flashed on, because I'm so visual. I pictured a really nice boat in the water, and written on the back is Suddenly in Charge. That'd be a good name for Suddenly in Command. I'm sorry, Suddenly in Command. That's a good name for a boat. I like that. All right, Robin, I was excited about this. I thought it would be different and new, and it was. Thank you. You did a great job. Stick around. We'll talk some more. about what to do with this. And folks, if you want to be in Robin's seat, not at her home, but interviewed like this, the place you want to go is the contentprofitshow.com/guest. That's the contentprofitshow.com/guest. And we are booking well into next year. So get on over there. Folks, you'll be able to, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, you'll be able to catch both the podcast and the live cast at the contentprofitshow.com/E24 and join us on Monday for E episode 25. And with the holidays here, I hope you all stay warm. Have a pleasant, restful holiday. And Robin, thank you once again.
Thank you, Jeff.
You did a great job.
Thanks.
Now I got to find out where my mouse is and play some music.